So, greeting students. So, we'll be getting into today's lecture. So, in today's lecture, we will be covering your Unit 5. We will be covering your Unit 5. So, your Unit 5 is all about your distribution system. Okay. So, till now, from your Unit 1, your Unit 1 is a introduction to your T&D. Okay. Your Unit 1 is a intro to your T&D. Okay, whereas your unit 2 comma 3 comma 4 was entirely about your transmission side. Okay, so your unit 5 is all about your distribution side. Okay, so this is what you'll be seeing. So this distribution side is again you can classify this distribution side into two types, followed by AC distribution and then DC distribution. Based upon the nature of your electrical quantity, you can again classify into two types. So that's what we'll be covering today. So generally, we'll be seeing about the distribution system. So here you can see the distribution is to deliver power from generating station or substations to various consumers. So the ultimate you can see the ultimate aim of the distribution system is to deliver power from generating station or substation to various consumers. So this is what the your important point. So you can uh, you can deliver to various consumers. Okay, so this consists of distribution side transformers. There are there are different types of transformers. So in this, typically what type of transformer we will be using is that we will be making use of your distribution transformer. Okay, so we will be making use of your distribution transformer. These distribution transformers, uh, you can step down your voltage. So that's the main purpose of the distribution transformers. So generally, what happens is that at the transmission side, what if the voltage will be coming around your kilovolt. Okay, it will be coming around your kilovolt. At your distribution side, it is necessary to step down the voltage. So it will be around in terms of 400 volt. Okay, so for that purpose only, we will be making use of your distribution transformer. Okay. So starting with the type of your distribution system, first is your DC two-way system. We'll be first starting with your DC. So over here you can clearly see that here it has only two conductors, because your DC will be having two poles, right? One is your positive, another one is your negative. So it will be of positive, and another one here we are taking it as a neutral. Okay, here we are taking a neutral. Okay, we are not considering your negative polarity. We are taking with respect to here neutral means here it's nothing but a ground. Okay, so this neutral acts as a return conductor. Okay, and carries the same current as the positive conductor. So for a circuit to conduct current, what it has to be? It has to be a closed loop circuit. Okay, so the same amount of current will be flowing through these two conductors if the circuit is in a closed condition. Okay, so here the line current I1 will be equal to P by V. Okay, because the power, we are now speaking about a DC power. So it will be in terms of I1 equal to P by V. Okay. So next, if the resistance of the conductor is R1, so if we are considering the resistance of the conductor to be R1, then we have what will be the line losses? The line losses will be 2 I1 square R1. This will be equal to if you are talking in terms of your voltage, so then it will be coming like this. Okay. So next we'll be going with your DC 3-wire system. Okay, we'll be dealing with your DC 3-wire system. So in this DC 3-wire system, since the voltage from the two outer conductors to the neutral are of opposite polarity. Here you can clearly see that we will be making use of another one conductor, which is nothing but the negative polarity, which is of negative polarity. So the current flowing through these conductors will be in reverse direction. Okay, that's what they are saying. The currents flow in the outer conductors is in opposite direction. So the from the neutral will be coming and it gets diverted towards your positive as well as your negative conductor. So that's the main principle. So for a balanced system, the current in the neutral conductor is zero. This you already know. So the losses in the neutral are also zero. So the losses which is flowing, so the losses which is through the neutral conductor, we have to consider to be zero. So your I2 will be P by 2V. This is here you have to take the voltage difference from your positive to your negative. So you will be getting 2 times of your voltage. Okay. Similarly, the line losses also. The line losses also you have to consider. You have to consider 2 voltage. Okay. So now we have to equate your first equation and second equation. So you will be getting a relationship between your first type of system and second type of system. So what you can see is that the resistance is inversely proportional to the area of cross section. This you already know. Okay. So the resistance in your DC 3-wire system will be equal to 4 times of your resistance in your DC 2-wire system. So for a 3-wire system, the resistance must be very high. Okay, so that's the main thing. Take over what you can take from this. The next will be coming around your single phase. Okay, for a single phase AC, you already know the conductor will be of phase as well as neutral. Okay, so since the peak voltage, the voltage will be taking will be V, but the RMS will be root 2 times of your V. Okay, your root mean square value will be root 2 times of your voltage for your single phase. Okay, now if the power factor is cos pi, okay, if the power factor is cos pi, here your I3 will be equal to P by 0.707 V cos pi. So this is the value of here power in your single phase. You already know P equal to Vi cos pi for your real power equal to Vi cos pi for a single phase circuit. Okay, for a single phase circuit, if you are converting that line voltage into RMS voltage, means you will be getting 0.707 V cos pi. Okay, so if each conductor has a resistance R3, okay, R3 is the resistance in this condition. So the line losses will be the same thing, that is I square R3. So here the I3 value you have to substitute over here. Okay, so this I3 value you have to substitute over here. Okay, so now you have to equate the first point and the second point. Now we have to get the relationship between your first this one, this R1. Okay, then what you will be getting is that your R3 will be 1 by 2 cos square so this is what your value of your R3 will be. Okay, so with respect to your area of cross section, okay, as you know, it will be inversely proportional. If you are equating means with respect to your A1, A3 will be 2 by cos square phi A1. Okay, so this is what your single phase AC system. So next what you will be seeing is a very important one is your three phase four wire system. So you guys have to surely know about this three phase four wire system. Why in the sense means this is the main system what which is coming to your household. Okay, so this kind of configuration wiring distribution side configuration is what coming to your household. So here the voltage between each phase conductors and the neutrals will be root 2 times of your line voltage, that is your RMS voltage. Now if the system is balanced, then there would be no current in the neutral. This you already know. Wherever your neutral is coming, when the system is balanced, then your neutral will be zero. Okay, then the losses in the neutral conductor are zero, and its volume also can be neglected. Okay, so here your I4 will be P by root 2 V cos phi, but we are talking about three phase, so you will be getting around three times of your line voltage. Okay, now the conductor of each resistance will be R4. So then your line losses will be 3 times I4 square R4 by, okay. So here we are speaking about three conductors. So those three conductors, if you are considering, means you will be having separately each three times of I4 square R4. Okay. So what happens is that you will be having 2p square by, I have to substitute this I4 over here. Okay, and the relationship between R1 and R4 is that R4 will be equal to 3 times of cos square R1. Okay, so here you have to consider the difference for a single phase and a three phase. A single phase it will be 0.5 cos square phi R1, whereas in case of your uh, three phase means it will be 3 into cos square phi R1. Okay, so that's the main difference over here. So next we will be considering the area of cross section of each phase conductors. So here you already know it will be inversely proportional to your resistance value. So your A4 will be equal to A1 by 3 cos square phi. Okay. So now we will be considering the relationship between all the equations. Okay, from for all the cases. Okay, then your voltage will be, sorry, now we are speaking about the area. Okay, so if we are considering the volume of the conductors with respect to the area, okay, so for the first one it is your 2a1 into L. Okay, for second one it is 2a2L, for third one a3L, and then 2a4L. So we are speaking about your volume. Okay, so volume is nothing but your length into area. Okay, so now if you are finding the ratio means you have to equate it. So your ratio will be getting 1 is to 1 by 4 is to 2 by cos square phi is to 1 by 2 cos square phi. Okay, so in case of considering the neutral wire of half cross section means, then the volume will be changes into 3.5 times your A4L. So your V5 will be equal to 7 by 12 cos square phi. Okay, so this is a introduction to your distribution system. Okay, so in this type of question what they'll be asking is what are the types of AC distribution system and what are the types of DC distribution system. So sometimes they might be asking both the thing as a same question. Okay, as a common question as your distribution system. Okay, so this is what regarding your introduction. Okay, so thank you.